So, retiring abroad, is it all about just chilling by the pool, or is there more to it? I've come to France to visit my sister who's been living here for nearly 7 years to find out the truth about living abroad. Let's find out what she's got to say. So I mentioned in a couple of my other videos that I was going to talk to my sister who also retired early and to some degree was perhaps arguably a bit of an influence on my decision of retiring early. I come out here to France. We're in France in a lovely house here on a regular basis. I live every year for the past 4 or 5 years. And every time I come out, I've always found it a bit of an inspiration when I see her and other friends who are also retired living in France. And it all seems so idealistic and wonderful. But I kind of thought, what is the reality? So why don't we ask her? So this is my sister, Claire. Hello, Claire. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. So you retired early. Roughly what age were you when you retired?
About 55.
55. And was that like a gradual process or like a decision, like a sudden decision? And
No, we've always been planners, plan 5, 10 years ahead. And then I knew my husband was coming up for retirement. So we decided I'd retire, but then he decided to go back to work for 2 years. Just because he got offered something.
Yeah. And
I went and did part-time work.
In the interim, yeah.
In the interim until he finished his contract.
Yeah.
And then while that was going on, we were deciding, right, what are we going to do? And we decided we needed a project. But that sounds like we're DIYers and we're not.
Why did you decide you needed like a project specifically?
Because you need a purpose.
So you realised from even before entering retirement that like I talk lots on the channel about having, the importance of finding a purpose, and that was something you kind of, even before you retired, you thought whatever happens, we need a purpose.
Because I'd heard stories. I hadn't got any facts, but I'd heard stories of people who'd retired from my husband's what he did.
Yeah.
And they'd lived a couple of years and then
keeled over.
Yeah. Because they'd been so engrossed in what they'd been doing all their life, and then they'd stopped and they didn't know who they were, what they were, or what their purpose was. That's it,
and that, I think you're right. That seems to be a common theme, and sometimes it's maybe a sort of a stereotype, or whatever. But there's an element of truth to it, as you say. And people, especially people who've been in the same job for like 40 years. And then straight to, all the way to retirement, and then, as I say, like a guillotine, like shlum. And it's like they've lost their identity, they've lost their purpose, they've lost perhaps their friends and stuff like that.
I think for some people, for me personally, I'm quite happy entertaining myself.
Yeah.
So that's never been an issue. So
brother like sister, sister like brother, yeah. Quite happy looking after ourselves, yeah.
So I've had hobbies of one sort and another, and like I volunteer for the National Trust when I go back home, and I do a lot of sewing, and I read.
You made,
and I go out and do crafty things.
Yeah, you made those cushions and stuff like that. And bags, those tote bags,
hundreds of bags.
Yeah.
And it's not a business, it's just something I just do and then give them away as presents.
Could be a business, could be an Etsy business, that good.
That's what everybody says, but I think then you put yourself under pressure, don't you?
Yeah.
And there's plenty of other things to be getting on with. Gardening, I seriously like gardening, but then from the point of view of this place in particular, that was what the project was for us. It was
from a gardening point of view, it's like a epic transition from what it was like. Yeah.
It was just completely, it hadn't been touched for 7 years, completely overgrown, no paths, no driveway, a forest. That may be a bit exaggerated, but basically running this down the side of the property, they all had to come out. What we couldn't do, we had to get people in to do. But everything else, it's been gradual, but it's good.
Yeah. So at what point did you decide you were going to move abroad? In that retirement sort of thinking process?
Well, initially we weren't going to come to France.
Yeah.
Initially, Portugal was the
Yeah,
objective.
I think I vaguely remember you talking,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. And then the next thing I knew, you were like, oh, we just bought a house in France.
Well, what happened
That's what it, to me, that's what it seemed like. It was like one conversation, it was like, oh, we're thinking of moving to Portugal. And then next, it won't be for a few years. And then next it was like, oh, by the way, we just bought a house in France.
Well, it was Portugal was the initial target. And then our cousins,
Yeah,
obviously, you know, they've got a property even further south.
yeah.
And we used to go and visit them every single year. And we were in their garden one year, sitting there going, well, why don't we have our own place here and we can stay longer than just, you know, them phoning us up and saying, will you come and stay, you know, in the summer holidays? And then we thought, well, let's just find out where we want to live. So we hired like a motorhome.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Like an RV, yeah.
Yeah. So we came down to La Rochelle in France, picked up the motorhome, and then started driving towards Portugal, stopping off at various places that we knew. And I don't know, we stopped off somewhere and we bumped into a couple. At the time we had a dog, and they'd got their motorhome as well. And where literally it's a car park, basically, where we met them. And we sort of said, oh, hi. And, you know, dogs are talking to each other. And so where are you going? And they said, oh, we're driving to Portugal. We've got a property there. And we said, oh, we're looking at going to Portugal. And he says, oh, I've got another day's driving. And then when we got back in the motorhome and we were stopping somewhere, I went, another day's driving? No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
It's not viable. It's not practical. So then we saw...
So just too far.
Too far.
Yeah.
Then that immediately started to make us think about our criteria. What is our criteria? What do we want? And then we said to ourselves, right, a day and a bit driving, because then you can have a sleepover somewhere.
Yeah.
That would be as far as we went. And then we drew on a map where's as far as we could go in a day and a half. And that's when we drew the line, basically a bit further south than where we are now. And then we went, right, okay, it'll have to be France then.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Spain's too far, Portugal's too far, and, you know, and we don't want to, and as it turns out, it's the best thing we could have done, because we found a place that's got good transport links.
Yeah.
Which is another thing people forget.
Yeah.
So if one of you becomes ill, which has happened in my case, my husband's become ill, you can't do the drive.
Yeah.
But because we're so well connected, transport links where we are brilliant.
It is, yeah. That's one thing, you know, a big consideration, I think. I mean, as you say, you have the kind of idyllic, bucolic French village life, really quiet village. But I think I was talking today when I was in Angoulême, I think you need that access to culture and a city or a big town. And, you know, you've got it here literally. I mean, it's not a massive city, but at least it's something. And it's 15 minutes on the train, or if you go the other way, you know, if you've got a couple of hours, you could be in Bordeaux or whatever it is.
Well, it's not even a couple of hours, 45 minutes to Bordeaux.
Yeah, 45 minutes to Bordeaux. So
or
actually you've got
less
access.
than an hour to Poitiers,
Yeah, you've got access to sort of decent
and all
cities.
from the village.
And a 10-minute walk away from the station,
Because that's one thing, everybody said to me, says, why are you living in a village that's got a train?
Yeah.
You know, you'll hear the trains.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, it's quieter than anywhere else, because the trains are electric here in France. You don't hear them, it's just a whoosh. You don't have the thundering great lorries and Arctics that you get in a lot of the villages. They might look pretty, but oh my goodness, you know, the Arctics come within an inch of your house and the whole place rattles.
Yeah. No, this is sort of cut up a bit,
And I mean, my husband was never ill when we retired.
Yeah.
And it was completely unexpected and out of the blue that I became ill. He'll never recover. So by planning for public transport, we've saved ourselves a lot of misery.
A lot of trouble, And that's interesting, though, because it means that you've had to, like you said, you moved out here specifically for the project, and there comes a point where it's like, you know, it's done.
No, not for me. I'm always thinking of things, probably for him. But not for me.
But the big work.
The big work's done, But then again, I could quite easily find more big work to do.
So there's, I guess, but do you think it's always important to keep as you said, maybe finding things to do in terms of or just because I get said because you've just put some new bits into the garden. I noticed here quite big bits, or is it more about upkeep? And then when you factor in the fact that you've got like between you there's an illness, which means that therefore maybe you can do less than you could do less than you did before.
Well, the project is maintenance now.
Yeah.
So the project is we've got to, I'm converting flower beds so they're low maintenance.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at ways that we can. My next big project is grass.
Yeah.
Now that seems a strange thing to say, but I love the grass we've got back in Scotland.
Yeah.
The grass here, it's not something I really want to walk across barefoot.
Yeah. There's a lot. Obviously, it dries out.
It dries out. It's just not the same. But if I can manage the grass and maybe get rid of some of the grass as well, which I don't really want to do, but find a way to still keep the greenness. I don't know, a mix of paving and sort of low planting, so that my husband's got less lawn mowing to do, and he's looking at robots.
Yeah.
I'm stepping in and doing all that now until, we can find another solution. So you've got to just look at everything and think, right, okay, there's 2 of you fit and healthy when you come out, and there's 2 of you fit and healthy while you're doing everything. Could one of you just do everything?
Yeah.
And if you use that measure, I think you'll get by. And one of us can just about do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of, we've always lived like that.
Yeah.
Like, if one of us can do everything, we're okay. Financially, practically, everything. So we've never stretched ourselves.
Yeah. And I guess that's the key thing, not, as you say, not stretching yourself, living within your capabilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've also got added into the mix now, which is fantastic, is grandchildren.
Yeah.
So, I want to go back home and see them as well. And they come out here, and they have been out here just recently, and it's been brilliant. And they've loved it.
So you don't stay here all the time?
I'd say about eight months of the year.
Yeah. So now you moved here pre-Brexit, so...
Yes, so we got all the Brexit rights.
Yeah, so you got your residence.
Yeah, but again, a piece of advice. We spoke to people who'd been living here longer than us, and they said, oh, do this, do that. And we thought, right, well, we better do this, do that. And there's lots of sort of platforms and social media things where, oh, I haven't got this, you need to do that, this is too difficult. But the French government have their own website, and it's in English, and it's extremely clear.
I noticed that.
And if you follow everything to the letter, they're really, really good.
One of the things that puts me off, like the idea, like living, it's like, oh my God, we're not part of EU now, so it, like for you, it was easy because you could just, at the time, everybody could buy a house, you could just live where you wanted in Europe. It was like perfect. Now it's like, well, I'm under the Schengen rules, whatever. You got 90 days, and it's like, how would I get a visa? Oh my God! But I looked at that site, and actually, it's just you just apply.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's more of a pain, but it's not. It's not
difficult.
Difficult if you're really determined. But what I'm interested in, so you could stay here all year round.
Yeah.
So living abroad. But so why do you choose to go back?
Because I miss the snow.
Yeah.
I miss the grass. I miss the lushness that you get in Scotland, because Scotland is a beautiful country.
So it's not as I thought. You just go back to realise how bad it is there, so that when you come out here, like,
no, it's two different lives. No. It's become two different lives.
Yeah.
I don't choose to mix the lives. We have friends here.
Yeah.
And then we have friends back in Scotland.
Yeah, different sets of friends.
I mean, the Scottish friends have come out.
Yeah.
But I'm not wanting to blend the two together, because it's just two different lifestyles.
They're different tribes as well, I think.
Exactly.
I've met a lot of your friends here.
They're completely different to the friends we got back home.
They're effectively all expats.
Yeah.
And they've got that expat vibe to them, It's a sort of different
some
mindset.
Just pop here and there. Some are doing the visa.
Yeah.
Some are here permanently all the time and have sold up completely. And then others are doing a sort of what I call a mix of, which is a bit like we were going to do, but obviously that's not going to happen now, is doing a bit of extra travelling as well.
Okay, what would you do differently in terms of, so just thinking more about moving abroad?
What would I do differently?
Yeah, are there anything that you sort of would have done differently?
Not listen to some of the rubbish people tell you.
Is that like do your own research? Is that what you're sort of...
Yeah, just Facebook groups and all this hoo-ha. There's always a supposed expert. And it turns out our example was the carte de séjour, the 5-year one.
Yeah.
I can remember about 8 different couples telling us, "Oh, you need to get it, you need to get it." And
so that's like a 5-year residency.
Yeah, but we applied before Brexit, so we got up before one. And then when Brexit came along, they just automatically extended it. So you ended up getting 8 years.
Yeah.
I've coincidentally got to renew mine next year. So when we first came, we thought, we better get this. But everybody's saying, get it. So we assumed that everybody who was telling us you've got to get this card had got their cards. And then we turned up one day after we'd been for our interview, and we'd taken a dossier, because we'd gone to the government website, the French government website, and just read everything, and just read, got that certificate, got that information, just took everything, and just took a portfolio along. Then went and had an interview. They looked at everything, went through, really charming, really helpful. And then bang, we got our cards. And then we said, to all these people who are telling us, you've got to do it, we've got our card. And they all, without exception, turned around and said, how did you do that? And I'm thinking, well, you were all telling us you've got to do it, but it turns out none of you've got your card. Because we'd just followed the French government website, and they were all...
So
I
it's
don't know
all
where
there.
they're getting their information from, but I was a bit surprised by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do your own research and research it in the proper places.
Yeah. Like, I guess that's good advice.
That's the biggest lesson.
That's good advice for anything.
Well, we learned it early on, very early on. There's a lot of experts who maybe have lived here for 20, 15 years.
Yeah.
And no, just go to the official sites. The information's there, and they're clear, easy to understand, and they're in English. So you don't have to translate. And anyway, most people nowadays have got phones where you can automatically translate stuff from any website.
Yeah. But I did notice the French website, I noticed that. I was curious.
Oh, sorry.
Those things pop, those plants.
Acanthus mollius, or bear's breeches. Mind they don't hit you.
Yeah, they fire off. There's a weird plant here. It just sort of fires off sort of seeds or whatever. Okay, so I often kind of, wonder whether... living in paradise, as it were. There's a film called called White Mischief, and it's set in sort of post-colonial Kenya, and the Sarah, I forget her name, the actress Sarah Miles is playing the character. She wakes up and she looks out across the savannah, and the sun is just rising, and she goes, "Oh God, not another fucking day in paradise." So it's that like kind of. It seems wonderful all the time, but are there moments where you just like when the heat is like suddenly this is not? Oh, like I always say, like a London gangster stuck in Marbella. You know what I mean? It's like
it gets very hot around here, but the only time I really, really hate it is when it gets like 37 plus.
Yeah, and
then you get the headache from hell. And there's nothing you can really do about it. You do all the things, cool yourself down, and keep all your these areas cold and all that. But at night time, when it gets so hot you can't sleep properly, and then if you have a couple of days of that, I personally get really ratty. Yeah. And that's when I think I want to go home, because
you just feel like I
want a decent night's sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
My sleep bank.
Yeah.
Is. I'm owing the bank sleep.
Yeah, I get you. Not enough sleep.
Not enough sleep. Yeah. Because you just don't get quality sleep. But I mean, again, if you do what the locals do, and that is, we've got a traditional house, so shut the shutters, and only open them when the temperature is cool. So that could be at 5 o'clock in the morning because the temperature's dropped, and then you shut them again the minute the temperature starts warming up. And I've had to train my husband to do it, but it works now, and the house does stay nice and cool.
Yeah.
And I've had people around when it's been warm and they've gone, oh, your house is so cool. It's the chimney effect.
Yeah, but you're doing what the locals do.
Yeah, just do what the locals do.
And also because in England, growing up in England, it's sort of counterintuitive, because when it gets hot, you go, open the windows. Because what you don't realise is that it's hotter outside than it is in, and you're basically making the inside as hot as out. So it does feel counterintuitive when you say shut all the windows and shut the shutters, but that's why they have shutters.
And it works. It does work. If you do the chimney effect, which is a cross breeze when the temperature's cold, make sure you've got your skylights open so the cold air drops and the warm air gets sucked out, and it works as long as you shut the doors and everything and the windows before it starts to get warm again.
Are you sort of happy in terms of retiring early, which is a big thing on the channel? Are you was that the right thing to do?
For us, it is, because I could still be at work.
Yeah.
I would have.
How old were you?
55.
Yeah. So younger than me.
So I'd still have
10 years.
A few more years at work. Not 10. I'm older than you, remember?
Yeah. What the retirement age was 60 for women back then?
No, it's always been 67.
Yeah,
Yeah, so anyway, the point was I could still be in the workplace, husbands could still be in the workplace, and we wouldn't have had any
well, you think about it now.
Because he's ill.
Yeah, exactly.
So he'd have had no retirement.
Yeah. And that's the thing about, like I talk about the equation, the calculus of retirement, early retirement is not about just about the finance.
No, it's about your health.
It's about health, and then your age, like how long you've got left, time.
Yeah.
And they have you've got your sort of average lifespan, but there's also the average healthy lifespan, which is a different number, obviously a lower number.
But also the unexpected.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
With our situation, nobody expected him to get ill. He was a very strong, fit and healthy person.
That's right. I mean, it's
and it was quite a shock.
Complete turnaround, because he was very strong, big, and So you made the most of those. So early retirement was right in that regard. What I call the go-go years. You managed to live it a bit, come out here, do the house up, have it, enjoy it, and you very much. This is sort of for your family and stuff. You invite people out all the time, and that's what you sort of do.
But only family and friends. Yeah. It's not a business or anything like that. No.
It's just But is that a way also that gives? I mean, because I think, oh my God, you're always entertaining. Like as you said, your daughter was out here with her husband and kid and all that kind of stuff only a week ago, and then before that you were just from friends.
Yeah.
So is that part and parcel of sort of stopping it from being boring?
Well, it's like everything. No. I wouldn't say I like entertaining. I do like to meet people and see people and chat to people, but I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm the best host.
She's very modest.
You say that because you're my brother, but how can I say? Yeah, I don't want to lose touch with the family.
Yeah.
Just because I'm. Yeah, we decided
so was that a concern? Was that like? It's interesting you say that. So was that like moving out here? Was there like we better make sure that?
Well, one of the reasons why we've got the pool.
Yeah.
We put that in.
Yeah.
Was because, in all honesty, would a young family?
Yeah. It's a big pool. As in a pool, as well as a pool. Yeah. Yeah.
You need a sort of an incentive. Now, we're a family of swimmers.
It's sorted us out me and my family out for the last, 4 or 5 years. So, come for the pool. Come for the food. Come for the pool.
So, and we also hoped that our children would maybe take it on, but maybe that was unrealistic. When we get that old, we'll probably have to just sell up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if they come now with their children where they're young, it means they get a bit of time for themselves. We can be granny and granddad, and they can go off and do something like my daughter and her husband did. They had a couple of meals out on their own, which gives them a break as well.
Yeah. Okay, so 3 bits of advice. Like if somebody was thinking, okay, I'm going to retire early, and I'm thinking, moving abroad, what are the three key bits of advice off the top of your head that you think
I can only give advice from a personal perspective.
Everything. Look, everything is, from a personal perspective. Well, what worked for you, that's kind of thing. So
keep a bolt hole from where you come from.
Yeah. So don't let...
Yeah, because you do not know what's coming around the corner. We did not expect... Well, I did not. None of us expected my husband to become ill.
So don't sell everything up and just...
Yeah, no, because then...
Put it all in a house in France or Italy or Spain or whatever,
Don't get a big property.
Yeah.
It sounds great to go, I've got 100 hectares and 60 million acres, but all it means you'll be on a ride-on mower all day, every day. The trick, I personally think, is to find something like this, a property where you can manage the garden.
Yeah.
It's not huge, but it's still big enough. Well, you've got space to get away.
Yeah.
So something like that, something that doesn't put so much...
Little cubby holes here and there, like here we're sitting in this nice little thing outside, but it's right at the back of the garden, just tucked away.
Tucked away.
Yeah.
But again, something that's not too big, like the house. It's not huge. So, because you don't want to be thinking, right, I've got two...
It's not a chateau.
No.
But it's not far off. No, it's not. Yeah, it's not like you cross the road.
That's enormous.
They've got an enormous house.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And there's just two people there.
The house I looked at a couple of days ago was a nice little petite, little cottagey kind of.
Yeah, that was good. Something you can
perfect size.
Lock up and leave.
Lock up and leave. Yeah.
Well, I look at our cousins. Kind of from their experience, they said, "Do not buy a big house," because they bought an enormous house, 11 bedrooms.
Oh my!
I don't know
proper chateau.
Well, it's bigger than a chateau in some respects. It's really long. To give you an idea, the Germans...
We're on the wrong side of the family.
The Germans used it as a barracks.
Oh, right, okay,
during the World War II. They've got all the
imagine.
drawings in the... Anyway, that's another story. And it's just, they constantly have to have somebody in, tidying it, cleaning it. And it's all costs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just modest.
Yeah.
Be modest.
Don't overdo it. Just because you can buy, just because your money will go further. But, especially if you're in the UK, you always think, oh, wow.
Yeah, but it's not here in France.
It's not going to go up as an asset, really.
No, it's just going to be...
It's just going to...
Probably flat.
Keep its costs. So you're going to... Inflation will eat into it. Whereas in the UK, most of the time, houses are always on the up. Yeah.
And I mean, I know people do renovate their properties out here because I've seen a few, but in all honesty, most people kind of just live as they find the houses. I mean, there's such a huge variation of house types.
Yeah.
It's really... I mean, we're lucky. My advice, if you're buying a house, is buy a house off a British people who've kept their houses and their gardens, or Dutch.
Yeah, Dutch. A lot of Dutch people around here as well. Yeah,
lots of Dutch. We bought off Dutch, and the house is extremely well maintained.
Yeah, because a lot of the houses is when you in regions, probably true in Italy, in Tuscany and Portugal and Spain, whatever, are like old family houses. Is it like if you're buying them off French?
Yeah.
So they're not necessarily. When you go for the oldie worldy house, and you're buying them off a French family, they're probably in the family for many generations.
And it could have been left because they've all split their inheritance. I mean, you don't know how.
Because that house I went to see a couple of years ago, very similar shape and size to your house.
That was hilarious. He said it'd been modernised.
Modernised in 1950. And untouched because it's just the older generation.
And they didn't live there. They just kept coming back to it every so often.
And all the younger generations moved to the city kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're not interested.
Whereas, as you say, you buy a house from an expat, whether it's an English expat or a Dutch expat or wherever it is
most of them
in that country, they've already sort of looked after them.
Because they're used to properties and they have a value of their property back home, and they probably apply the same approach here. But no, and that was good because the French are lovely, but they have a different view on property to most Brits.
Yeah.
And the Dutch, well, they seem to be quite house proud as well. So
yeah. Well, there you go. Well, I hope you found that useful. I hope you found that interesting.
I don't know.
Well, we never, I said I'd do it, so here it is. As I said, I hope you found that useful. I hope you found it interesting. Put your comments down below. Be interested to hear what you've got to say. So big thank you to Claire, my big sister. for doing this. Really appreciate it. And if you like this video, you know what? Why don't you hit the likes? Because I like it, YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you, because you're the bright ones, yeah? Find content just like this. And if you're new to my channel, or just one of the 82% of people who watch my videos on a regular basis and haven't yet subscribed, then do me the great favour, please hit that subscribe button, toggle that notification bell, and that way you'll know when I go live with videos just like this. Talking of videos just like this, why don't you check out the videos here, these ones here? You see these ones here? You'll love them. Thanks for watching. Done that a million times. I've done that a million times.